Invite His Excellency Dr. Babatunde, the UN Resident Coordinator, for his statement.
So how do you follow that, Your Excellency? I've been put in a very difficult situation. I think with your permission, Your Excellency, let me immediately say you have a professor of reproductive medicine and human development in the making. And then I've also been put in a very difficult situation to follow, to speak after a high-performing rapper minister. Not too easy. Nonetheless, I will do what I have to do. His Excellency, Rtd Brigadier General Julius Maadabio, President of the Republic of Sierraleone, Honorable Vice President, Her Excellency, the First Lady of the Republic of Sierraleone, Honorable Ministers of Government here present, Honorable Members of Parliament, our worship, the Mayor of Freetown, Excellencies and Ambassadors here present, my UN colleagues, NGO leaders here present, private sector leaders, the media, adolescents, girls and boys, ladies and gentlemen. Your Excellency, it is such an honor to be here today. And I would like to start by expressing my thanks and appreciation to Her Excellency, the First Lady of the Republic of Sierraleone, Madam Fatima Maada, for this laudable initiative to officially launch the operational plan 2021 to 2023 for the office of the First Lady and to commemorate the International Day of Menstrual Hygiene. The United Nations here in Sierraleone appreciates Her Excellency, the First Lady, for exemplary leadership to move forward the agenda of enhancing the life chances and well-being of women and girls, and to follow the student professor while including men and boys in Sierraleone. We also want to thank the government for its commitment and partners for working to end gender-based violence and other harmful practices. We are happy to note that an operational plan, the operational plan being launched, will promote the rights of women and girls and will help to advance the implementation of the human capital development agenda of the government. We mark this year's Menstrual Hygiene Day with the theme Action and Investment in Menstrual Hygiene and Health. This day is observed on 28 May because menstrual cycles average 28 days in length, and girls and women menstruate an average of 5 days each month. May, of course, is the 5th month of the year. Menstrual Hygiene Day is a global advocacy day celebrated to promote good menstrual hygiene management for all girls and women. This year's call to action is for more investment, more interventions, and more programs to promote menstrual health and hygiene. Previous speakers have already spoken eloquently about the case for prioritizing menstrual hygiene and health. So I will not go through the same points again, but just to stress that without access to sanitary products and water and sanitation facilities, we would be disadvantaging already disadvantaged girls when it comes to educational opportunities. And what we will do through that process is to further widen the education gaps between girls and boys, especially from senior secondary school upwards. Here in Sierraleone, Her Excellency has now taken the huge challenge to provide free sanitary pads to girls in education. To ensure hygiene, dignity, and safeguarding, and in response to the COVID-19 crisis, the United Nations Population Fund, in partnership with the Office of the First Lady, provided supplies of dignity kits distributed alongside sanitary pads to ensure that the girls were provided with basic supplies to maintain hygiene and dignity. Similarly, United Nations Children Fund has been working closely with the Ministry of Water Resources, Ministry of Health and Sanitation, and the Ministry of Basic and Secondary School Education to construct and rehabilitate water, sanitation, and hygiene facilities in primary and junior secondary schools across Sierra Leone. Community leaders, health workers, and teachers are well positioned to negate menstrual stigma, and parents and wider family members need to be educated about the practices and myths which might be unintentionally causing harm to women and girls. In order to establish sustainable social change, education is key. All girls and boys must be educated about menstruation and reproductive health and rights to empower them to talk comfortably about periods and sexual health. As such, I commend the Minister of Basic and Senior Secondary Education for the introduction of comprehensive sexuality education into the basic education curriculum framework. This will ensure that girls and young women have access to information necessary to take control of the menstrual health and alleviate stigma around menstruation. Adolescent girls need the support of the government and development partners to provide adequate water, sanitation, and hygiene infrastructure, as well as access to affordable sanitary products for them to manage their periods, as this is a reproductive health and rights issues. We must reiterate here that it is of critical importance to have an enabling environment that provides psychosocial support as well as water, sanitation, and hygiene facilities. We must acknowledge that some young women and girls face greater challenges in attaining their sexual and reproductive health and rights. And the minister already listed some of them, the Minister of Basic and Secondary Education. These include girls that are living with disabilities, those living in remote, hard-to-reach rural communities, and those that are out of school. This calls, in short, for our collective responsibility as the United Nations, the government, NGOs, and the communities to ensure that we reach those furthest behind within these laudable efforts. We'd like to applaud the efforts of our Excellency initiative to empower, educate, and engage leaders, communities, families, and adolescent girls and boys about menstruation, and to highlight the right of women and girls to hygienically manage their periods. Your Excellency, ladies and gentlemen, the United Nations is committed to supporting the people and government of Sierra Leone in improving access to menstrual hygiene commodities, appropriate water, sanitation, and hygiene facilities, as well as enabling social environment, which will allow women and girls to enjoy their rights to dignity, health, and privacy. This is part of our commitment to ensuring that no one is left behind in our collective efforts to advance Sierra Leone's quest for sustainable development. I thank you for your attention.
Thank you so much. We have carefully listened to His Excellency Dr. Maada. I'm sure he speaks directly for the entire UN family in Sierra Leone. And UNFPA, we've been in this jungle on this one. We want to say thank you for the dignity keep. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I now have the privilege to invite Her Excellency Madam Fatima Maadabio, the champion for sanitation and hygiene for African Union and the mother of the House of Our Gas project. Her Excellency the First Lady.
Thank you. Your Excellency, the President of the Republic of Sierraleone, retired Brigadier Julius Maadabio, my dearest husband. Now it's you. The Honorable Vice President, Dr. Mohammed Julius, please, Excellencies, allow me to stand on existing protocols for wanting of time. We're here today to commemorate a very important day, and that is the Menstrual Hygiene Day. What a coincidence that we are commemorating this day. And just yesterday, the African Union, through the Anchor organization, sees its fit to appoint me as the new champion for sanitation and hygiene for Africa. Thank you very much. Your Excellency, 2018, you gave me an assignment that I should reach out to your children. You asked me to figure out what you need to do as the president of this nation for our girls. We went around this country and we reported back to you, and that was the beginning and the badge of hands of our girls campaign. We realized that the rate at which our girls are being raped in this country and the rate at which our girls are being forced to early marriage, as far as I am concerned, early marriage is a legalized way of rape, in my own opinion, because a child should remain to be a child. Your Excellency, you asked me to reach out to your girls, our children. Like my sons are saying, we are not abandoning you. We're building women that will help you, your helpmate. You want a woman that will be a woman that will help you. You don't want a woman that will be a liability to you. So I hope you will understand why we're focusing on the girls of Sierra. And besides, the free quality education is for everyone. His Excellency is not a biased father. And I'm also doing this to help you, the boys, so that you have a good, perfect, and a superwoman at home as a wife in the future. Mr. President, please permit me, sir, to speak to my children, their mothers, grandmothers, because I know most of our parents, our grandparents, they sit glued on their TV to listen to what we are saying here. Permit me to speak to them in our local palace Creole, so that we'll just understand a little bit. Me and my children, we used to have a very brilliant conversation, and we want to have that conversation in front of His Excellency, right? Now, presidentbio say, we not for you species. And see? When I don't begin shame? No! I go vex so. Lord, be honest with presidentbio. Now, how many of we been the use species before now? If you hand on your presidentbio, you know the view party there. How many of we been the use species before now? Presidentbio, let me tell you what thing I don't learn. Throughout this journey, we don't go around the country. We don't go every district with the exception of Falaba, which I promise will go soon. Once you learn, the girls they don't educate me. And they go there for educate them, but then they educate me more. I go Kono then they use paper for sanitary pad. I go Moyamba, Bump, and the southern region. The most popular phone where they make we begin and they fall victim, then they call us Spark 5. Right? I don't know if Freetown gets Spark 5 or when I get that iPhone. Wow. Now I'm going to the east. Then there's one phone where they call Camon 16. Is it Freetown? Well, I'm going to some of them remote village them. The young phone they call them button phone. When I get that, I read that they call some help me press. Presidentbio on there and I phone them in them. And see? Help me press. Oh, I forget, the 30,000 yon, I will sell. But me and now we don't agree because that one of the provinces we don't agree because one thing I can ask them. Then they tell me the prices of all them phone here. Now how much iPhone worth in Freetown? How much? 26,000? iPhone 2.5? Okay, when all they talk, I know they understand. Yes. 5,600,000 yes. For iPhone. Yes. How much now come on 15, 16? 1 million? 2,500,000. How much now Spark 5, Spark 6? 1,500,000. 1,700,000. How much na button phone? 60,000. So now which phone one I can get? iPhone. The iPhone one I can get. Help me press. Now that you get. Okay. Now how much na help me press? Give me your price. 70. Yes, you? You said you want what it? The one with the hand like you need? 250. Okay. Oh, then that one day. Then they got button phone. I don't understand the reason why I asked this question. The reason why I asked this question, presidentbio, most of we picking them, whether they fall prey, whether they become victim of rape, whether sugar daddy they kick out na them hotel there, whether bad man they fool them, na them phone there they can use. Na them phone them. But me don't tell me picking and say, if you know what thing you feature what. Now tell me what you feature what?
Education.
More than diamond and gold. Okay, what is your feature what? Education. Okay.
Priceless.
So if you feature priceless, you self no see. the thing where you know for do now for begin the father man business where they in school, right? Because that money or that bottom phone where that man they give you now, it carry you na then dirty motel them. It will give you belly. Because the other thing where I learned from una the school picking them again simple. Una tell me say, then he tell una say na small normal they do. Or na the first tell this normal. And see? Or I go do a fast. But I don't tell una say sex in any form, small, fast, slow, whatever way you do it means say the possibility for that you will become pregnant instantly is 100%. So that means when you are in your uniform as an ambassador for your school, you represent your school. Now the last thing that way for them in your mind. Because when you come out of your house and go to school, you don't let your mama and your papa in house. Automatically you are an ambassador now for that school. Anything when you do, good or bad, before they even call your name, now your school name, then they attach to you. So if you know what's in your future, what, then you know say, no man know what for you for father and then dark alleys them. No man know what for you for father then and then dirty motels them. Because then they go there, then they go spoil your future. Now all them stupid together did the way you wanna get so. And una way get una teacher and telephone numbers then sound on phone because una under them they give una free grade. And see we get together, right? And me una they talk and see. And they tell me what's in the happen, right? Now tell me, if teacher will like you for real, why it will give you in telephone number, they pull you in your house 6 o'clock every day for carry you go na them corner there. It us na library? No. So why you go there? Why you not go focus? I dey tell you this every day. The opportunity we wanna get, we not get them opportunities them day. When we be the go school, we dey pay school fees. And every side where I go, I tell this story. Thursday, and most times towards examination time, when don't have 1 week to examination, now they come pull in a classroom. Because you get to pay your school fees. You don't come out in school, you don't go in a house, you hate your mama and your papa because they don't pay your school fees. You don't feel like for say you are not loved by your own parents. Now you don't get somebody who don't look, he pay on all school fees, he not ask you for your political background. He not ask you for who that your papa vote for, who that your mama vote for. He said, just what let me begin your better. You get that opportunity today. You not they only pay you school fees, but they give you books then. When will they buy book? Some teacher they be wicked to winter. Then they give you book list and tell you, they ask if you mama and already are back. You understand? Now when I get started, then they give you free. He realize say they okada the one be the tape, na they boko of na they get better. He say make I give you boss, we go make sure say me begin and go school they come from free. He give you all that one day. He not say, you know what he, now just take me on picking and concentrate on me picking. Presidentbio, they're picking them. Really? But he said, I pay for every picking because I want that every picking in this country I get the same opportunity like a million picking them. So every side where I go, I will remind you of this. The opportunity we will not get, we not get them. Now you go first ask now who wants to be a first lady on all the ace on the hand. That tell you if you're not first lady where you hit empty, I swear to God, you're not going for tinap and then put down here. You got to focus on your education because there is nothing that this world not the way paramount reach your education. Now you are getting that free of charge. It is free for you and your parents, but now one man they pay for them. And that man where they pay for them, he not ask you for pay them back. He say, just be the best that you can become for this nation. He say, pass your exam. Study, make you pass your exam. May you come and be the best doctor for anything where you want to become, be the best. And then you will serve your nation. I can give you now one example. I said tomorrow, when you be the best doctor in this country, and you mama lidom, maadabio lidom. You get one injection, you get for save somebody in life. Now you mama force in life, you dey save it. When you get for build your first house, you know get for say maadabio outside team dey go build your house. You dey say, Mama, I want build house for you. Papa, I want build house for you. When you reach for go America, you know they say, Maadabio go frame visa for you, no go America. You dey say, Mama, na me you go America. Papa, no go, they carry go London this year, no go, let you go do your medical, whatever. You know they ask, Lord, na pay them back. All is safe. Focus on your education and be the best. Because for her, when you not transform on yourself and be the best in this nation, Sierraleone the better. Without education, if we don't get enlightened people, then we don't get people the way you know say, then get focused mind and believe in patriotism and want for serve the nation, we will continue for them explanation all the time. And guess what? By the time when you do your GCSE, because na you spy till you reach for do your GCSE, now you get for the tinap na then junction, they say, Papa, you go body o, Mama, you titi o. And then you remember say, I been don't go school, but I not been green for focus. Now finally, before I go, make a show now the thing the way we get, presidentbio today is just generous. I not say majority or at least 90% of una way they are una be don't get una sanitary pads from we. And see, me picking and the one thing to make a let them, they know they lie. But today, presidentbio in your own generous mind want to give you more. They want to give you more. But when presidentbio be they buy, when be they make sure say, for every fundraising what we do in this country, it forgets say in a president. It be there right in the middle of it. From the beginning, from day one. It make sure say they tell you una do so, una do so, una do so. Because if you want like this sanitary pad, after we'll talk about buses, una get buses. When we talk about books day. When we talk about uniform. Some districts then they don't get food. We say when I give them food, if daddy will keep the beginning at school, we have to do anything possible. From the day where I come and say, the girls, they need sanitary pads. I say, Fatima, I let me begin and pay, but this one, no go spend the money now. For every fundraising we do, presidentbio champions it from day one. We do first dinner, we not get enough. We do second dinner, we not get enough. We do One Nation concert. I believe say most of una we go now to school, we go talk to una and everything. But some people they even call me Antichrist. But you know what? I say if not for me beginning, I don't care the name we call me. What's not for me girls then? I am good. But you know why? Because presidentbio, how are they go before now? So it's not being me, they push me, say you have to do this, you have to do this, you have to do this. Even when they make this part then yeah, he writes the words them all the way there for make sure say, he said, I just want every morning when you see your menstruation, all presidentbio they ask you, make you read them words then yeah, for let you empower yourself. Do you understand? Now first, they say tomorrow belongs to those who are educated today. So if you not educate now, my dear, you're not going to blame presidentbio. You don't give free education. And see? Now the other thing where he writes, he said, marriage my choice, education my... Una all don't get to una pardon, una deep and read them. Well done. And then the other thing where he said, united against... Fantastic. Now we all together therefore stop rapists in this country. Now we all together therefore make sure say, them pedophile them within this country. Either them find a different job for do, or we go give them different nationality. If not, then we go help them, let them go get fine 5-star hotel called Pademba Road. But now we all together, now we get for one. And then finally, what I say presidentbio want take me begin and love from me. Now he said, write this, and we don't get answer today. I say, menstruation is not a choice. My girls need free sanitary pads. And what thing we don't get? The minister just don't announce, say, next year, my dear, with the roller coaster in this country here, because we serve the people and we serve the children. The minister will provide the sanitary pads, so I will be the messenger for deliver the sanitary pads. And I will come with pleasure because I know say the thing I wanna can learn, wanna teach me what kind of schools them, the love and everything. Now the reason and the way make I know they tired for do what they had to do. And when I go to a house, I meet the man where they push me with the brightest smile, even though not to say not his smile. When I say not his smile, I bet President Leone for putting my smile for me. So you see, it is where I come out to una. Where I come out to una with all that love they did. Where I can a house, now that big smile I can reach in front of me. And because I want that smile every day, I will make sure that they go every day for that they come back and it's the same smile. Okay? So please, you focus on what? Marriage my choice. Aha. Now, the minister don't rap and see. If they can't talk more than. I believe say when I all know what's in the Isaiah. 120 pieces. It will last you for the whole year. Next year, will they come back? The year after that, will they come back? After that, will they come back? And make sure say we are all accustomed to using sanitary pads because we know say them pieces the what they use. We also know what in them pieces they can do to wear. Where you put her, as you begin water, then you say now travel, now you get me here. If the pieces not they run with you, you know say now now the smell now go and kill you and see. Presidentbio don't stop all that day. Now when you wear your pad, what you they say? Because when I go to school, I tell you what you they say. I am a superwoman because my president said I am a superwoman, right? So dear brother, I want to continue for be that superwoman day. This pad, the best of quality, certified. You see, we get the United Nations. When you get the United Nations coordinator here, can't talk. They let you know say they know what you do and what you do is perfect. I want to thank everybody who don't stand with me. But una the picking and the love and the council of principals, the teachers them, you know, it make every day people they ask me, you know, they tire. I know they able tire when I get a spirit like this. And the love that you show is unbelievable. Wow. So I want to say to me Sunday, una no vex. Una no vex. Because we they get different package. We'll get for camp, hold the fail. Where I go Kaila on the boys that ask me say, why I not bring them condom? then physically tina before me then ask me say, I they bring pads for the girls then, but I not bring condom for them. And the answer to them is, I actually still not legalize sex in school. So please, no mind, stay away, okay? And then that one when I did the whole high school sweetheart. Then one they are, I don't tell you 90. Yes, Prince of Wales. Each one, he get girlfriend at grammar school, he get girlfriend at convent, he get girlfriend at FSSG, he get girlfriend at Amiwash, he get girlfriend at Grand Memorial. So you know one day sweetheart, the other one at Tuesday sweetheart, the other one at Wednesday sweetheart. So don't be saying that you want to get you. Now Penny the pen for another week. And you were weak, now you dey go sleep with. And I see sleep with you. Now they can tell you say small, fast, slow. Now lie when you get better, the minister don't talk her. We get radical inclusion. But there is also thing called say belen, na belen no moya. Where you get belen? In order to get money sickness, in order to get sleeping problem, in order to get yourself. When they pass the exam, you remember for go on picking. And say I don't tell you now. Let it happen only when you are ready. Sex not by force. Okay? only do one when you know say you don't come on a college. I don't tell you now. The worst part, and they say, the worst part, when you mistake you drop out of school. When you mistake you drop out of school because that your high school sweetheart don't go give you belly. You feel say na lucky. Now if don't go college, you know what they happen? That in girlfriend where they FSSG convent or annual when they say to her no. Now they also don't go college. By the time when they come up college, the one don't turn lawyer, the one don't turn doctor. You know the member say that begin. Now me, if you go on the picky say that my mama they come in and look like say you don't get problem. Because me are too busy. And I believe say that so all my mama they busy right now. Now the way you go on picky, mama they come, say that can't help you. Now when as you can, your mama they tell you say I can't hold the picky, me self get side for go. So by the time when you they done that one day, now you don't pass 5 years, now you don't have to one say you tell where the picky for go gear. You know what's in that happen? You don't see when woman they sing company woman they afraid for talk. When you go knocking at the house, in and that one when they get sense, when they talk say no. You go knocking at the house, then the woman open the door. They ask you, excuse, why they ask you? Thank you very much. They will ask you, say, excuse me, can I help you? And then that's it, you know, ice water or something original Excellency. Now you go look yourself, you then at the outside of the compound, in the inside, it's too safe for you have to go cut. What did they tell her? Sorry man, I think I'm the wrong address at because you go friend for property. When that one way they call high school sweetheart, if night can open the domot, you know what they do you? I see open the domot. Madam they inside. They don't push now. If they lock the domot for them, madam no hearing. They ask you now waiting. As you want to see go, do you know when you were fearing? So now you don't turn second hand. You understand? But now you be fool. That's the way the one when they are the watch when they say no. You go turn opinama. And see? So now we don't agree something in this country. I said all the guys begin the opinama and see? We all the opinama and see? Small thing no vex. As the girl said, una only get una sanitary pad double again from His Excellency after here. Una know they go show una outside we don't put up. Una they go there, His Excellency they go give una pad there. I know say today not to know una want take picture with His Excellency. So when they go give una, the boys there, me una go there na one smoke una go just the chit chat. You know what I'm saying? Right? But today, I know say when we they go out for give the sanitary pads then, we not be given this new package we will add from the pads then. So I just show now waiting the day. This now when we partner the UNFPA now we come together and say, well we give them sanitary pads, but don't give the other team also we go encourage them for do more. Because the more you do, the better it is for you and we all, right? So we get for you soap, we get for the use for what? For the ones that, you understand? And see, we don't give now all face mask right now where they say we are united against rape. And see? Everybody that you face at this year. Oh, not on okay? Okay, no bad. Inside the bag, you get 2 face masks, okay? And then inside the same bag, this now for lady boys are not jealous, so I beg una not jealous. We put for una pants them. And inside the same bag, we also put for una toothbrush and toothpaste. And finally, just in case, if you I don't forget other thing there. We put for now soap, the more soap. This is for wash body. Now we so special to we. We don't also know to forget say we get rapists in this country. We get man there where they're not ashamed. Where they say now we keep them no more than they go exercise their rights. So just in case you dey work at even 10, you know say you say you dey go maybe jack or something, we put phone a weapon inside this bag. Not a pepper spray, not a pepper spray pussy. But we put whistle there so that you dey put around your neck. It gets in chain. Okay? If you notice that somebody they behind you, it wants for you don't notice somebody that can behind you when you're not comfortable, you get this round your neck for draw attention for let other people the way they around, let them will know say you did at that place there, you the blow up. This one will not be one give because free to have not said the light business today per sort amount and it is sort out and by God in power light will be under the best. Okay? But just in case that when they do maintenance in your area and you never exam you need for study, then you don't get excuse for begin to work my oats and next. We still give you your special light. So all these when they say when they give to the voice them back, let them not say this mommy I know let me. Yeah? So what we don't know gonna do, we give everybody the all man gets you, okay? And we get an extra sanitary pad also for the them. This now all Brigadier Juliusmaadabio the opportunity for let go to see how he pose. Let's self pose today, right? Your Excellency, you asked me to go and continue for talk to the Pekinem in this country, yeah? And I don't say that mama then, the granny then would listen because I wanted them to educate the Pekinem at the house then. Let them would talk to the Pekinem, let them make sure say the Pekinem from school to parenting, government, now all my business, not to one person. When you then are us, now your mama and papa the responsibility. When you get at school, now the teachers their responsibility. Government in your responsibility now for provide for you the necessary things that way you need for let you get a safe environment and enjoy the quality education where you get. So Gia, I talk to the parents then, and all the beginning where they do their NPSC today, and they wish them well. They've got them all pass the exam, they try for us, so that the brother Naya, you know only they rap for we. But this time, it is wrapped with a bag. I thank you all so very much.
Thank you so much, Your Excellency. Put your hands together for Our Excellency. Thank you. On this note, I want to invite an artist to entertain His Excellency the President and the rest of our guests. Rose Sokota. Rose Sokota.
Sabi ni mami? Oh, ya usah ni mami deh, mami deh. Say knowledge and school the first. I begin for go school. Cause it's a lot today, oh mama. Imagine someone for sustainable. You, gentle and forefathers were. But the king get begin or go school. Insects alone today, oh mama. Ready for that? Aye, man. Turn me up, turn me up. Take it back. Tradition, not exactly keep on making dream no die. So how you gon' feel if now you begin never out of the way? Or now you sister, they force from mind before you take your hands up, my girl. Small enough to take your hands up, my girl. Small enough to take your hands up, my girl. Now we fuck with take it, my girl. Oh, now they can't be here for more. Leave them alone, leave them alone, give them a chance, oh. Leave them alone, leave them alone, leave them alone, let them go. Leave them alone, leave them alone, leave them alone, give them a chance, oh. Leave them alone, leave them alone, leave them alone, let them go. So, don't give you the gift for adding marriage, don't make it wrong. When the future pata, that's it when I can talk, say. Got the kingdom for old school, now you feel I will talk pata. They want to know they keep them. They want to know they first them. They love go fire, cause in society need them. They want to know they keep violence. Take your hands up, my girl. Small picking up for take your hands up, my girl. Small picking up for take your hands up, my girl. Now we fuck with take it, my girl. Oh, now they can't be in for more. Leave them alone, leave them alone, give them a chance, oh. Leave them alone, leave them alone, leave them alone, let them go. Leave them alone, leave them alone, leave them alone, give them a chance, oh. Leave them alone, leave them alone, leave them alone, let them go. I stand for the right. You're right, off our goals. Take your hands off their goals. All the goals they do the same. How they go the same. When we went for protect them, they take advantage of them. God thinking for land, take your hands up, small enough to take your hands up, small enough to take your hands up. Now we go protect us, my girl. And now they can't be here for more. Leave them alone, leave them alone, give them a chance, oh. Leave them alone, leave them alone. tolerance. One was in the middle tires. The German coastline, outside the beaches. Singing that resonating land. Let's make up the night and morn. Outside the evil light. Highways on the hem of the free. Blessed land, beautiful people. Land of love, my homeland. Oh yeah, Mama Salome, Salome, what the land of love. Seriously surprising, Mama Salome, Mama Sierraleone, the land that's love. Seriously surprising, reach ocean, beautiful people. Seriously surprising, white sandy beaches, beautiful seashore, village tolerance. Seriously surprising, come to Takukama, the polar forest, Walla mountains. Seriously surprising, hey, Kamui hills, Okohiu, Bitumani mountains. Seriously surprising, Mama Salome, my motherland, the land that loves. Seriously surprising, Mama Salome, my Sierra Leone, the land that loves. Seriously surprising, Mama Salome, my mama land, the land that loves. Seriously surprising, seriously surprising, seriously surprising, seriously surprising. Beautiful Mama Salome.
Every opportunity, every chance you get. This all is given to have safe Sierra Leone for our young ones coming up and for all the women in Sierra Leone. Thank you very much, Mommy. Daddy, thank you very much. Thank you all.
Hello. Thank you so much, Roseanne. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, the moment we've been waiting for is the keynote address by the champion of House of our Girls, the associate champion for sanitation and hygiene, the president of the Republic of Sierra Leone, the commander-in-chief of the armed forces, the fountain of honor, the supreme head of state.
Let's sit down, please. The Honorable Vice President, Madam First Lady, Ministers of Government, Your Worship, the Mayor of our municipality, Freetown, members of the Diplomatic and Consular Corps, our development partners, so ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. As we pondered our New Direction Manifesto, we asked a number of critical questions. One was, why was it that Mariam, Tene, and Aisha, who entered class 1 with Joe, Michael, and Tommy, could not be accounted for during the WAS examination for that cohort? The answers were green. Mariam may have been married off early to an elderly and illiterate trader. She may have a 3-year-old child, but she suffers from fistula and she's treated badly in the community. You know the stigma attached to fistula, and therefore she's not being treated properly. Tene, could be a single teenage mother who may have survived rape by an elderly relative and impregnated by an elderly man. She could not go back to school while she was pregnant because there was a ban on pregnant girls in school. Her 5-year-old son is stunted, has learning disabilities, and not attending school because Tene cannot afford paying her fees. Aisha could have died from complications from teenage pregnancy and because of the lack of comprehensive maternal health care. These stories were and have been replayed over and over again in Sierraleone. Their stories are a giant scar on the conscience of those who can change their stories but have successively never done so. That is the narrative that we as a government want to change. Those girls and the children constitute 52% of our country's population, but they are condemned through no fault of theirs to life of penury, victimization, and death. And that is what we want to prevent. We want to make sure you do not, especially the girls, fall in that category. The boys may ask, why are we not part of this equation? The girls need special protection, care, and that is what we want to do. The questions we have been confronted with are many. How do we help Sierraleoneans, especially women and girls, to reach their full potential and contribute their fair share to inclusive national development? How do we do that? That is what we are trying to tackle, and we need you, the women and the girls, to play your part. How do we correct cultural and other structural defects in how our society sees women? You have a part to play, and I challenge the women that have a part to play. How do we nourish, protect, and support our women to be all that they can be? You have a role to play, I have a role to play, and I'm trying as best as I can to play that role. Over the last 3 years, we have taken bold risks, but we have been guided by the fervent belief that girls, like boys, must have an equal chance in life. That girls, like boys, must be empowered, invested in, and supported. And that girls, like boys, must be protected and respected. It is easier said than done. It is not enough for me alone to do this, nor the First Lady. And therefore, today is an invitation to all of us to play our parts in making sure that happens. That is why we declared human capital development as a national priority. That is why we provide free, equal, and inclusive quality education for all. That is why we supply free teaching and learning materials in schools and school feeding in some areas. That is why we provide school buses and create safe spaces for learning in schools. That is why we reviewed the curriculum, invested in more classrooms, equipped more libraries and laboratories. That is why we reversed the ban on pregnant girls in school, implemented a policy of radical inclusion in our schools, and introduced teaching of reproductive health. That is why we have spoken up about cervical cancer diagnosis and treatment personnel and facilities in country. And that is why we have campaigned to demystify menstruation, and we are providing free sanitary pads to girls nationwide. That is why we reviewed the sexual assault laws and made them tougher, declared rape a national emergency, established a one-stop center for SGBV, and instituted sexual offenses model courts to fast-track SGBV cases. That is why this is why gender inclusion is central to our medium-term national development plan, and we have developed a gender equality and women's equality empowerment policy to guide our investment and interventions in that regard. But more so, that is why our indefatigable First Lady, Madam Fatima Maada, has traveled to every corner of this nation and spoken from the heart, hands off our girls. Hands off our girls. Men, women, boys, and teens and communities are all contributing now to make sure that our girls are safe, protected. Her work speaks for itself in this operational plan that we have with us, that is for the 2021-2023. She has developed an operational plan, and I will be launching that at the end of this remark. She has raised awareness, engaged state, non-state actors, the private sector, and institutions in advocacy and dialogue, has worked with and brought about renewed hope and fresh ideas in fighting discrimination and gender-based violence by prioritizing our intervention in relation to teenage pregnancy and early marriage and forced marriage, child prostitution, forced labor, trafficking, women's empowerment, maternal mortality, and sustained childhood development, among others. Today, more young girls feel empowered and believe that a brighter future is possible. Do you believe that? Yeah. Thank you. We are on this journey together. And we need you to respond as you go on. I know amongst you, I want to make sure that we get a woman president, not so. You know why? That has never happened in this country. We have a woman mayor, not so? And I want to be mayor. Well, now the stuff way for make when I be mayor. Now we put now on our head so. We encourage you now for make when I do that one day. Because if you want to be mayor and when you're a woman, you have to be tougher. Woman of substance. The first lady, you're not always woman until maybe later. The first lady is always going to be a woman. I don't know how the world is going to evolve, but at least we know say one of them are going to be first lady, also. So we want to prepare you to be a woman of substance when you get to that position. This is the assignment. This is our project. Today, more young girls feel empowered and believe in a brighter future, that a brighter future is possible. Hands Off Our Girls campaign has been as audacious as it has been inspirational. Around this country, it is one of the most popular campaigns and goes beyond this country. It has resonated with women, girls, and leaders beyond the borders of this country. It has been truly impactful, and we owe it its resounding success to our First Lady's passionate commitment, resolve, and drive. Thank you, Madam First Lady. Just yesterday, I received a delegation from AMPAO that appointed the First Lady champion for water and sanitation. I hope that assignment is not going to take you away from these beautiful young ladies we are trying to create. We will see how she will divide her time in serving the continent and also Sierraleone. Her appointment is logically aligned with her passion to protect, inspire, and empower young and vulnerable girls. But her new line of work, advocating for progressive changes in a wash environment, policies, and outcomes, is relevant to today's event even more. The theme for this year's Menstrual Hygiene Day, action and investment in menstrual hygiene and health, urges us all to take stock. Let us think deeply about what we can do about the hundreds of thousands of Sierraleonean women who are confronted with challenges to proper management of their periods. Social and cultural stigma, lack of knowledge about menstruation, lack of water, sanitation, and hygiene facilities, and more importantly, lack of menstrual hygiene products constitute those barriers. The implications for education, social inclusion, and health have been well documented and presented. For instance, girls can miss up to 20% of their education and consequently fail to complete and transition to higher education. Our task as a nation is to address each of those barriers and therefore mitigate the associated threats to safety, health, and well-being of our girls and women. That is a national assignment, and we are up to the task. We need your support. We must question backward traditional notions and taboos around menstruation that cause anxiety, fear, and shame. We must fashion a common vision on menstruation. We must work to disseminate knowledge about menstruation to our girls and women by creating appropriate educational resources around menstruation, both in formal and non-formal educational spaces. That is just what the First Lady was doing. It is a taboo here to talk freely about menstruation, which is a natural occurrence. We feel thirsty, we are pressed, we go to the toilet, but we are shy to talk about something that is so natural. We have to break that taboo, and I challenge the men to start to talk about menstruation with their children who are getting ready, who are getting into puberty. The women, the mothers, should also take that challenge. I cannot do it all alone. We must also speak about the benefits of good menstruation, menstrual hygiene for women and girls. Local champions, opinion leaders, citizens can drive that change. I can see a lot of champions already who will help the First Lady to take this message, cascade this message to every village and town and household in this country. A good communication plan that includes persons in the creative arts will also be helpful in changing attitudes, as we had Rosie singing just now. So we need people who can help us simplify the message and take it to the grassroots. We must invest in safe, dignified, female-friendly water and sanitation facilities at school, at home, so that our girls and women can safely practice menstrual hygiene. This involves a lot, and I listen keenly to the mayor taking the initial steps or additional steps to make sure that our city, open defecation should not be practiced in free time. We should have toilet facilities. We should have enough water to make sure that we maintain hygiene. Women and girls in particular lack consistent access to menstrual hygiene products. We are playing our part to help the girls to have access to it. On that note, I want to thank you all, and I now formally launch first this operational planning for the Hands of Our Girls campaign 2021-2023. Thank you, and I also want to use this opportunity to formally open the commemoration of the International Menstrual Day 2021. Thank you all.